Okay, so we are at Edwards Air Force Base in the F-104 Starfighter. We're going to take it for a fly, so this is going to be fun. Got live weather on, and we've got realism on. I've not really flown it much before. I've done a couple of flights in it so far, so I haven't learned all the procedures to power the aircraft up properly. So we're just going to see how we get on. Okay, let's have a look around the cockpit first. So if we release the parking brakes, does that animate? No, it doesn't. So let's just quickly give the throttle a little bit of a push to see if it starts rolling. Yes, it does. Okay. So we'll move the mouse out of the way. I'm just increasing the flaps to full. I can't imagine this is going to want to take off very easily, so we'll go. So we're about 80% throttle. It's going through 100 knots. 150 knots. 170 knots, and I'm going to start to rotate. It's just coming up for 200 knots and it's wanting to come off the runway now. So we're just leaving the runway. So gear up. Flaps up. And we're leaving a big dirty plume behind us. The wind is gently blowing us sideways. So let's go for reheat. I'm just going to make air traffic control go away. And let's try this thing out. That's pretty spectacular performance, isn't it? Let's just roll it over. So in that climb straight off the runway, we've pretty much gone to 28,000 feet immediately. We're going back up through 400 knots, back Mach 0.8. It's ever so slightly scary, isn't it, how fast it is. Starfighter can pretty much do this all day long. Let's roll this over. Just let the aircraft coast. From inside you really get a sense of the altitude. We've just climbed away from the runway because Edwards is huge. So we're flying out over to the desert, and we'll slow down and we'll do an approach. If we can slow down. I mean, we're just coasting down at, you know, Mach 0.8 with the engine not really open. Let's go full reheat and see what happens. God, look at the acceleration. So we'll do one fast pass, shall we, of the airfield. So this ridge is usually in line with the runways. As we come back, yeah. Obviously we're descending into the thicker air and the pilot is starting to suffer. Okay, so we're going to turn in towards the runway. Whoa, it's extremely unstable. Okay, we'll just cut the engine back. And we'll do an approach. So we are going to need some room to turn, so we're going to turn away from the direction of the airfield. Okay, if you remember, we said there's this hill here which we can use as a marker for turning. So we come around the corner. We're down to about 250 knots. 250 to 300. So we will have to open the engine back up. You can see the runway out there. It's much quieter in here, isn't it? So I'm going to sit up in the cockpit slightly, because I have a horrible feeling we're going to come in at such a vicious angle that we won't be able to see where we're going, which is always a problem in a two-dimensional representation of this. Obviously with the VR headset on it would be a lot easier. Okay, so we're coming in, that's 200 knots. I'm going to drop the flaps to the first position and drop the flaps to the second position. Look at the speed coming off. So it wants the gear put down. That's where we're getting the warning. Whoa, it dropped a wing. So note to self, don't get below 200 knots, or below about 170. Which way is the camera pointing on the outside view? We should be able to get a nice camera view at landing. Not going to be on the centre line, but we're not going to worry too much about that. That was scary. I think we'll run long, shall we? So yeah, there you go. That was the Starfighter. Obviously, we weren't on the centre line because I was messing around with the outside view, and yeah, it's a handful. I can imagine flying it for any length of time would be. You'd obviously have to learn procedures to fly it correctly, which we obviously weren't doing. It's good fun though. Awesome aircraft. It really is. I mean, look at that profile. It's a scary looking thing, isn't it? Okay, where are we? Towards the end of the runway yet? Yeah, we're just coming to the exit now. So we'll just get off the runway and then we'll stop recording for today. So that was the Starfighter in Flight Simulator. We'll stop there. Okay, I'm going to stop recording there. The Starfighter is great fun. I'm not sure I'm ever going to fly it very often because there's not really much to do in it. But as a kind of a fun 5 minutes to terrify you now and again, it's great. Okay, I'll leave it there. Okay, see you soon.